not here making the speech of the minister. So that's political. So I'm just here representing the department, just as an observation of what was happening, and in terms of what we are doing in the department to deal with this big animal called infrastructure. So I just want to put that very clear, so that you do not say the minister said that in the mouth of Mulatelo. So let's just clear that up. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me first indicate what my responsibilities are. Well, as I indicated, we are responsible for intergovernmental relations. So if you understand the intergovernmental relations, this is now in line with the Constitution of South Africa, Schedule 4, where we deal with the coordination of the 3 spheres of government. And my specific responsibility really is more on the oversight of the public entities. So our unit or our branch is responsible for the 4 public entities, which is your IDT, Independent Development Trust, the CBE, which is responsible for the 6 professional councils. We are responsible for the CIDB and the Agrima South Africa. Those are the 4 public entities we are responsible for. And responsibility in terms of oversight, we are talking here, the establishment of the governance structures that includes the boards. We are responsible for the transfers of monies into these public entities, and obviously the issues of the setting of the plans and the reporting. The public entities are required in terms of legislation to report to the shareholder, who is the minister, the executive authority. They report to the minister on a quarterly basis or whenever she needs to interact with them on the issues of the mandate of the Department of Public Works, because they are an extension of the department. So that's basically what we do from my unit or my branch in the department. So I think, colleagues, you are aware that we have the new minister. On the 29th of May, our president has announced the appointment of the reconfigured National Executive in order to promote coherence, better coordination, and improved efficiency in government. So the minister was appointed. We all know who the minister is. And she has been given not only the mandate of public works, but it has now been extended over and above what the department was previously responsible for. The department will now assume the coordinating responsibility for all, and let's underline, all public infrastructure development. This means that the DPWI will have to lead on systems such as the IDMS, and maybe working with National Treasury also the issues of the FIPDIM, the Framework for Infrastructure Development and Procurement Management. The DPW will also be responsible for the role which the PICC used to be responsible for, which was the Secretariat. We will be playing in that space, which is now the coordinating function of all the infrastructure, including your SIPs. This actually requires that there should be a migration of functions. Like I indicate, this function of the PICC used to be the function within the what's the department? Economic Development, which is now part of the DTI. But that function is migrating to the Department of Public Works. The IDMS, which used to be housed in the National Treasury, there's a pronouncement that it now needs to migrate to the Department of Public Works. Now, this then gives the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure that coordinating role. It's a humongous task, ladies and gentlemen. But there are engagements, there are work streams that have been developed, there are task teams that have been developed that are reporting to the presidency in terms of the status of migrating these functions. This is as far as this added mandate is concerned. Now you can understand, we've got a new minister, we've got a department that is so big, but now it has become even more bigger because of the infrastructure development role or the coordination of the infrastructure. So our minister obviously is engaging, and obviously she has hit the ground running. Maybe just to share with you, as some of you may have noticed that yesterday she has issued the media statement in terms of the investigation that she has now instituted in the department in terms of the reasons for non-payment of invoices within 30 days. Yeah, that deserves a... So, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that the minister is very much concerned, because ever since she took over, she has been hearing issues around contractors complaining about payments not being made to them. And I think even today in the conference, this matter was a big issue. So the minister is now trying to find out exactly why payments are not being made. There are statistics in that media statement. You can actually see that most of the payments are more your day-to-day maintenance of our state properties, infrastructure. So it's all about plant maintenance, the capital construction, as well as the maintenance of our properties. So those are the payment. So it constitutes 90% of all the payments that have not been made within 30 days. Now that's a big amount, and it really shows why the infrastructure is really struggling in terms of these payments that are not being made. So we are hoping that this investigation will help a lot in terms of uncovering the real reasons for this non-payment. So I'm done now in terms of the responsibility, the new function, the new role of the minister, and the fact that she has now started, hitting the ground running. The minister has engaged with the management, the executive management of the department, and she will be engaging with the public entities in the weeks to come. She has already tabled the annual performance plan of the Department of Public Works and the public entities in the Parliament, which are just finalizing the 5th administration process. We are now planning for the 6th administration process. Now we've got the 7 government priorities that have been announced. And now in terms of those 7 government priorities, which I'm aware you are aware of, but just maybe to remind you, it's the first one is the economic transformation and job creation. Number 2 is the education, skills and health. Number 3 is consolidating the social wage through reliable and quality basic services. Number 4, spatial integration, human settlement and local government. Number 5, social cohesion and safe communities. Number 6, a capable, ethical and developmental state. And the last one is a better Africa and the world. And obviously, the last one speaks to what we were hearing in the conference about Wakanda. The smart city that is being built. I thought that was such a good idea. So, which means that we are already realizing what the president was speaking about when she was saying, I have a dream about the smart city. Now, regarding this event, indeed, this was one of the crucial events of one of the critical stakeholders of the department. Ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Public Works is huge. So we've got a lot of stakeholders. We've got yourself. Last week, the minister was at the Property Charter Council seminar. She also gave a keynote address there. There are others, like the women. They also want to meet the minister. A lot of stakeholders really want to have this discussion with the minister. And the minister is really willing to do that. And guess what? The minister in that seminar actually gave people her cell phone number. It doesn't normally happen. So you can see she's already in the 4th industrial revolution mode. She has given that, and she has actually even requested in the department that we create a social, sort of a WhatsApp group with the department, because she says that sometimes protocols are good, but they can also delay the processes. You can imagine sometimes if you want, maybe it is. Sometimes if you want to ask the minister something, you need to write, it must go to the director general, it must go to the deputy minister. It's a very long process. And it takes very long sometimes to make decisions. So she said that, well, I don't have a problem with the protocol, but sometimes you can just let me know through a WhatsApp so that at least I'm aware of something. And for that reason, I have indicated to the CEO, who actually wanted to inform us about the conference. I indicated to him that it's short notice, but if you just communicate directly with the ministry, they will be able to respond. So yes, that's what happened. Now the theme being engineering the fourth industrial revolution towards economic transformation in the built environment is really key to some of the targets and the outcomes we are setting in the sixth administration. I have indicated the 7 priorities of the president. What we are doing now in the department, we have been requested to say EXCO or senior managers now sit around the table, look at the 7 priorities, and then come up with the plans, the targets that will really make an impact, where we'll be able to see the outcome. It's no longer going to be just we are planning and planning. I mean, someone said that we've been planning and planning. Now it's time for action. So they really want to see the action. So we are building the targets that will really talk to the 7 priorities so that at least we can be able to see tangible results. So we are doing that not alone, but with the public entities. So we have requested the public entities to also ensure that they build their targets towards those 7 priorities and the interaction amongst the public entities. The minister sat with the public entities in Cape Town, and then she listened to them as they were doing their presentation just before the presentation of their annual performance plan at the portfolio committee. She could pick up that there is a silo kind of mentality. So there's not a working relationship amongst the public entities. So she said, in fact, before I meet you formally one by one, I want to have a process where you come together, you agree. And I mean, just to give an example, you've got IDT, which is responsible for social infrastructure. You've got Agrima that deals with alternative building methods. You've got CBE that is managing your professionals. And then you've got CIDB that deals with the grading. I mean, all these entities can work together and come up with something. And that's the kind of relationship that the minister wants. And our minister has already hit the ground running, as I indicated, because unfortunately we have to fix this plane on air. You might have seen, okay, I've indicated the issue of the 30 days and then the interventions she has made in terms of stopping some of the sale of our properties because she wanted to be engaged first. The minister has also assigned, just so that there is really progress, there is really reporting that is, as I said, impact driven. The minister has assigned the deputy minister to deal with the IGR function, meaning that you will be seeing more of the minister in these forums. The public entities will really be engaging directly with the deputy minister on this IGR function. So there's that thing that we really need to attend to the stakeholders' issues, be it municipalities, be it provincial departments, public entities, all stakeholders like this BBCBE and others. She wants that kind of focus, and that role has been given to our DM. So you will definitely be seeing more of our deputy minister in the upcoming forums and engagements. Now, regarding the resolutions of the BBCBE that we got at the conference, indeed we support them, and we'll definitely pull our weight to ensure collaboration. And because we've seen that the signing of memorandum of agreements, I think Public Works will also do that as well. We will have to engage with the BBCBE. We had already engaged on a process of developing the memorandum of understanding. We are also planning on meeting the Competition Commission on the issue of the IDOW matter. We understand that it's been a problem, especially in terms of the professional councils. Now we will be meeting with them. Now, obviously, African problems need African solutions, and we can only defeat all these challenges if we work as a team. So we will therefore, as a department, have these partnerships with yourselves to build the capacity to implement the expanded mandate. We will have the partnership with the private sector and specifically the BBCBE for mobilization of funds to augment the public sector funding earmarked for investment in our buildings. And we hope to coordinate a government plan to invigorate the construction sector in the face of challenges facing the sector. Transformation of the construction industry is one of the key factors that we will be dealing with to reflect the demographics of the industry.